My name is Geordy Murphy, and I'm the director of iMental Health Counseling, and I am also a registered provisional psychologist, and I work with individuals, couples, and teens. We're going to talk about material boundaries. So these are the boundaries that you put on your materials and generally your stuff. So have you ever had it where you lend something out to somebody and they don't return it? Do you think you're going to return it back to, or do you think you're going to lend that person something again? It's probably not a good idea. So our material boundaries are really revolve around our possessions and the things that we hold dear. So those things that are important to us in our materials, those I can't even talk. Yeah. We're going to talk about our material boundaries. So, our material boundaries are those boundaries that we place around our possessions or our stuff. Are we going to lend those things out to people who are just going to destroy them and not take care of them? This boundary is generally fairly easy. It's really just learning on saying yes to things and no to things. What are those things that are valuable to us that maybe we shouldn't lend out? If I lend out my car to somebody, are they going to bring it back in good shape? Maybe fill up the gas, give it a car wash. What are my expectations around that, when I lend out materials? With this, I think, you know what? There's actually, sometimes this can seem like a no-brainer. And we just think, yeah, you know what? This person will understand to bring it back the next day or the next week. But then all of a sudden, maybe they actually don't bring it back after a month or a year. So this is why just being able to communicate clearly kind of when we expect something back, what condition that we expect it to be back in, and really set the parameters around that. One area that I think about in regards to our material boundaries is even the boundaries that we set in our home with our things. So if we have people who come into our space and they use our house or they use different things in our house, what are the expectations that we have for those people? So when they come over, if they're chucking their jacket on the furniture, and then they're grabbing a coffee and they're putting their coffee on our nice coffee table without a coaster, that can sometimes get under our skin when people don't respect that, right? When we see them breaking those boundaries. And we really have to be able to even just verbalize those things. I know for myself, I've actually grabbed a coaster and placed it in front of somebody to put their cup on, or I've done that for them. And that actually, you know what? I think that's okay that I just do that for them. And then I just kind of, I actually set that boundary, and then they're able to see that that's a boundary. That, you know what, in our home, this is what we do. One of the things that actually we do in our home is we wash our hands when we get in the door. And anybody who comes into our house, we actually tell them to do that same thing. So in regards to material boundaries, I think that's actually a material boundary, is when somebody comes into our home, they're respecting our space. They're respecting our possessions, which is our home. So we kind of set the stage and communicate those boundaries to other people. And if we don't say anything, we can't really complain.